It's the morning of my 0 day in Port Clinton. So I walked to this restaurant. It's called the 3 C's restaurant. Really good breakfast. I'm staying at the Port Clinton Hotel and Bar. So there's a bar downstairs, and then I just have an old school room. It's like a building from the late 1800s. Maybe I'll show a little bit to you. But I was thinking I was going to take an Uber because it's like 3 miles to a Walmart and a Cabela's, and I need to resupply. Well, I called Cabela's. Uber wasn't running. So I called Cabela's just to see. And sure enough, she said, yeah, we'll come get you. So they're supposed to come get me in the Cabela's van. So I'm so thankful for that. It wasn't on the app, so I'll probably add it to the app if hikers ever, need to have that information. So anyway, it's a rainy day in Port Clinton, Pennsylvania. But I've got a full belly and hopefully got a ride to a Walmart and Cabela's to resupply. Made it. John over there took me in, took me in the Cabela's van. So problem solved. So this is the Port Clinton Hotel. I'll show you around. So you come in, there's this one room, or one door, excuse me. Very old school. I think this building was built in the mid 1800s. So there's little rooms, and then the restaurant. There's a restaurant and bar downstairs. So this is one of these deals where it shares the bathroom. The room's on the hall. And then here's my little room. Feel like I'm back in time. But look, it's got a TV. Go Dogs. Leaving Port Clinton. Woo, look at the hair this morning. I washed it last night. Went to bed with it wet, but anyway. So about 15 something miles to a shelter, and I'm having some knee issues. My right knee is hurting. I actually bought a brace. I can tell I'm favoring a little bit, but so I'm just gonna take it slow. My good friend Letterman, who I stayed with a few nights ago, he sent me a text and he was just like, just enjoy this last leg of your trip. Because if I get in a hurry, I'll get really frustrated. And so I have to be very conscientious of that. So it's very cool, nice and cool. Front came through, rained yesterday. It was a good call to stay put, I think, physically and also just staying out of the rain. So start this last little leg and we'll see what Lord has in store for us. There's a river that goes through here, Port Clinton. And I asked why it's Port Clinton. And because, you think of ports being on the coast or whatnot. But remember what I shared with you back in West Virginia at Harper's Ferry is the canals. So they said a canal came through here. So this was a port city on that canal system. So it's Port Clinton. And the river that comes through here is called, it's an Indian spelling, and there's 2 different pronunciations. And I had a good time asking locals how they pronounced it. It seems like there's 2 ways. There's Schuylkill and Schuylkill, or Schuylkill. I think I'm saying that right. Anyway, being an old educator, I don't like Schuylkill. That sounds kind of intense, but so I'm going to go with Schuylkill. And I do not. Am I on the trail? Is this the trail? Let me find out where I'm going. There's the Schuylkill River. And it flows all the way to Philadelphia. Also my cousin, she took me bike riding up there along that river in Philly. So the AT comes out to this nice walking path. A lot of hikers out here. It's a Sunday morning, but this is where we're at here. So south, north, Windsor Furnace. 5.9 to Port Clinton, that's where I left this morning. 12:01.4 to Springer, that's where I left while ago, and this is what I have. Eckville's where I'm gonna end up today. And then Katahdin, I'll end up there one day, Lord willing. Cool. So an amazing view, but remember I told you it was Sunday, so amazing views draw crowds. So I'm not gonna hang around here long, but this is Pulpit Rock. It's really a beautiful, beautiful lookout. This is astronomical. Hey man. So a lot of these are telescopes, I'm guessing. How about that? I bet this would be cool on a clear day. So this is a few miles from where that last lookout was. This is called the Pinnacle, and you can see a lot of folks out here. Good day for it though. Man, look at that. It's beautiful. It's been a long while since I've reflected on why this trail and why this trip to particularly to where I'm going right off Wind Gap in a little town or borough called Penargil is so special to me, because my grandfather, I had the opportunity to come visit them every summer and every Christmas time, and so I'd come up to Pennsylvania, and you know, the trail went relatively close to their house, and Granddaddy would talk to me about how living in Georgia, that the trail started down in Georgia and that I could walk to his house from there. So as a little kid, that was just, you know, that was so cool to me. And then in the summertime, we would always go to Harrisonburg. And if you watched any of these videos, I took you through Massanetta and showed you all that. And so it was just a special, special thing, and has always been in my mind that that's what I wanted to do. And so when I was blessed enough to be able to retire, I took off a couple months later. That was always my goal and my intention. And of course, my birth mother got sick, and so I had to get off trail, and I knew I needed to do that. And so it's taken me two trips to get there. But anyway, just thought I'd recap why this is so special to me, why this particular place. And his daughter, so my aunt still lives there in a house that we would visit as kids when, you know, I had family that was living there. And so my aunt and cousins are there, so I'm looking forward to seeing them, and it's gonna really be neat. I don't know, gosh, just talking about it, get a little emotional, but I don't know what that's gonna be like actually doing it, you know. It's because it's been something I focused on for so long. So anyway, that's why it's special. Have made it to the shelter. This is the Eckville shelter. This is kind of like that 501 shelter where it's an enclosed building. I'm not sure if I'm gonna sleep in here or sleep in a tent, but there's bunks. That's my pack hanging there. And then there's a caretaker. His name is Mick. I have not met Mick yet, but they have all these rules, and he has the reputation of being a bit gruff, but we shall see. But this is home tonight. I checked out the camping area down here, and there's even a little picnic bench. So we're gonna do a tent tonight. I'll go back up. It's just right here across the road. And we'll set the tent up. So I had a request from Coach Alligood to video how I set the tent up, but I don't have a tripod. So this is super simple. Lays out. Next step is, voila, everything's up. There's just these 4 posts, 4 corners are staked down. And then see my trekking poles? They're holding that part up. So there's a line there and a line there. That's all there is to it. Story of the day is that the temperature has dropped, and we got into the low 40s last night. Had a lot of condensation in my tent, and so the foot box of my sleeping quilt got a little wet, but you know, just have to dry it out when I get the chance. So that's about it. Pulled my hat out a little bit to keep me warmer. I think this is only the second time I've used it this whole trip, but I was glad I had it. About 10 miles, 10, maybe 11 miles to this next place, which is a little hostel. And so we'll see. These last few days, I'm doing a little bit of everything. So I tented last night. Got a hostel, more of a traditional hiker hostel tonight. And then a little bougie bed and breakfast coming up for one night. And then a shelter. And then, Lord willing, I'll be there at Wind Gap. So, but we'll see. We'll focus on right now. So I mentioned there was water, or my foot box of my quilt had gotten a little wet. So today, right now is the perfect time to air it out and dry it out and enjoy the view. An example of the rocks. You see the blaze and you see the trail. But I've tried to keep my attitude right, and I have said, you know, complaining about the rocks in Pennsylvania is kind of like going into the ocean and complaining about it being wet. It just is what it is. So might as well embrace it. And then just like that, this is literally 100 yards away. It turns into a flat, really nice trail. Makes you appreciate it. The lookout. Wow, it is quite the lookout. So anyway, this is where I'm staying. I'll get the lay of the land and maybe show you. Very nice little hostel. I'll tell you, the big difference is this trip I've been by myself instead of all these other hikers around. But it is what it is. It's been an adventure. All the directions there, hangout area, and then this is actually where I'm staying. And this is the difference when you stay at a hostel. I had reserved, please place sheets in laundry after use, and then I had to make the bed. But it's cool. Thankful to be here tonight. But check out this view. That's pretty nice. Well, you can see why it's called the Lookout Hostel. This is an awesome place, man. Chef U-turn in the kitchen this morning. This place has free, you know, they have stuff that you can buy in their resupply section, but they have free pancakes and coffee. So that's what we got going this morning. Big old thing of pancakes, mixed it up, about to put it in the pan, and we'll see how this turns out. Be back soon. All right, breakfast is served. Got a couple more cooking, but not bad for this morning. Finished a great breakfast of pancakes and feeling good, and left the place, tried to leave it better than I found it. Today's supposed to be some really cool views, and starting the day with an awesome view. Going over a section they called Knife's Edge. It's this rocky section. I actually have my trekking poles on my pack because they said you really need your hands to cross it up. So we'll see. I don't really have any big climbs today, but just I'm expecting a lot of rocks and some cool views, and so I'm just looking forward to what's in store. So we'll check it out. So this is heading up to the Knife's Edge. Fortunately, I don't have rain in They say these rocks get really slick, but let's see what this is all about. It kind of comes along this edge, and you can see it falls off on either side. All right, let's do it. Follow the insurance policies in the upper left-hand drawer. Beautiful view. There's a blaze. One side this way, and the other side that way. So you just want to stay right on this edge. Pretty awesome. So that's looking back. That was actually pretty fun. But you can see where that would be really sketchy in the ice and snow and rain. Completed Knife's Edge. It was really cool, some cool views, but in all seriousness, and not to be dramatic, that's not a place for like young kids or somebody that can't get around. Because I mean, I was on my hands and knees a couple times, not my knees, but my butt sliding down some stuff, but pretty cool. There may be a lot of rocks on this part of the trail, but I'm gonna tell you, there's some beautiful views. Man, it's awesome.
Birds flying around here. You're staying on a leash though, girl.
Dude's counting birds up here. This is apparently a migratory season for some of these guys.
He's not out now, man.
He's got an owl as a decoy to attract their curiosity, I'm guessing.
He came out to greet me.
Yes, Pennsylvania is known for its rocks, but you can put the rocks to good use. Look how somebody's made this campsite. It's pretty creative. Not sure if you can see, but I'm attesting for the chair. Works pretty good. Even a place to put my pack. Got a little buddy right here. Have made it to the other side of the mountain, and so now you can see the Lehigh River down there. And I believe that's the town of Palmerton. It's Interstate 81. So big mountain to get over, one step closer. Very cool. So I'll be getting picked up tonight at the river, wherever it crosses. This has been a very pleasant surprise today. So I get this beautiful views, and you just don't hear people talking about this. Yes, there's the rocks in Pennsylvania, but man, this has been amazing. They made it abundantly clear I am not welcome there. This is home for the night. Filbert Bed and Breakfast. I'm in Danielsville, Pennsylvania. Kind of quaint little place. But check this out. Just like at the sign in the parking lot I showed you a second ago. Look at here. I told her, I said, your sign says I can't get here. She was freaked out. I said, that's my trail name, it's U-turn. Take a quick little walk through here. Back porch area. She had me put all my stinky hiking stuff in there. And come in, little pantry area. This is where she says breakfast will be served. Very quaint little old bed and breakfast looking place. And then there's upstairs. And this nice little room. And then it has my own bathroom. So anyway, that's home tonight. Smoke South, baby. Well, good morning to the last full day of hiking with a full pack. Absolutely hard to believe, but so I am in Lehigh Gap. So I'm about to go across the Lehigh River and climb up out of here, and got about 17 miles today to a shelter. And so we'll just see what it's all about. Real foggy this morning, you can see in the background. And but I get to play Frogger this morning. And if you don't know what that game is, ask your parents. Back in the relative quiet of the woods. So this is supposed to be a pretty significant climb, but we shall see. I'm gonna have it horrible in my mind, and then maybe it won't be too bad. Well, it starts off pretty rocky and up, but we're gonna make it. About halfway up this climb, you can see the bridge. That was the bridge I was just on. And clouds are clearing, sun's coming out. It's gonna be an awesome day. It's beautiful. So that's the Lehigh River. And we're continuing up this trail, onward and upward. They told me there was gonna be some climbing. That ain't no hiking, that's straight climbing up those rocks. See the blaze there? But look at the view though over here. It's amazing. So that's where I've just come from. This is absolutely awesome. You can see I'm on top of just a pile of rocks. And so the climb has been intense, a little technical, but really fun. And the view is just amazing. What an awesome, beautiful view. And then the trail goes that way. All right, so we got another hawk counter. And what did you say your name was?
My name's Eric.
Eric.
Hey there.
And you're up here all day looking for these hawks. And he's got a panel here and
got
a map of where we're at.
some nice posters and got a great view up here too. It's amazing what we have up here.
Absolutely. He said he's seen, what did you say you'd seen today?
3 sharp-shinned hawks so far.
Okay, well, very cool.
Hopefully we'll see more of them. It's like their peak migration season now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. Well, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, no problem.
So you know you're starting to get close if you're on a road trip and you start seeing a mileage marker for where you're heading. Look at there. Wind Gap, 10.7 miles. That's where Grandma and Granddaddy's house. I'll walk to from there. LS Shelter, that's where I'm going tonight. So I'll have a nice little hike in the morning in the Wind Gap. Super cool. At first glance, this would just look like trash, but this is actually water caches that are empty, so hikers are coming through. This is such a dry section of the trail. There's no water. My voice kind of sounds parched, but there's no water for like 20 miles. So like tonight, I'm carrying water enough for today and tonight, and then early tomorrow, which makes it a little more heavy, but we're making it. So there's the last few miles of this trip, and this is where I'm staying tonight. So check it out. Okay, here's the shelter. Nothing fancy, nothing really different, but that's where it's going to be home for tonight. Good morning. How's that for a view? Pretty cool, isn't it? A good night last night. Another hiker came in. He's doing a pretty good long section hike too. He's going south down to Harper's Ferry. So I enjoyed talking to him. And I'm just so filled with emotions and excitement this morning. So anyway, I'll share when I get there. Coming off the mountain into the stop of Wind Gap. And I've walked this before. So they're going to this bridge. Borough of Wind Gap, and I'm going one little town over to Penargil for Granddaddy's and Aunt Mary's. But this is the borough of Penargil. So this is my grandparents' house. Looks a lot different. And that mountain back there, the AT goes right over it. So he would tell me about that trail going. Wow, I cannot believe I'm here. Hope I can inspire my grandkids and stuff as the way my grandfathers did. Both my granddaddy Oliver and Peavy. Both great men. The other side of the house, you can still see the mountain. It's a new garage. Yeah, we used to, when it would snow, we'd sled, and this is right out into the road. That was brilliant, wasn't it? And this is my Aunt Mary's house, the old Chevy. And this house looks almost identical to the way it did when I would come up here. So I'm here and thankful to be here. What a blessing. Well, that is going to do it for this hike. It's been almost 650 miles. I'd considered going the 16 miles or so to finish up Pennsylvania, but I just kind of decided, you know, it's like after a great meal and you're just satisfied and you don't want anything else. And so that's kind of how I feel. So I will pick up from right here. I think it's appropriate. I'm on Aunt Mary's porch and sitting in a chair from Massanetta. And it's just a lot of great memories, and I enjoyed sharing it. And I hope my grandkids see this, and hopefully you'll be inspired by some stuff. And I know I'll look back on it. And for those of you that did watch it, I hope you enjoyed it. And I did appreciate the support. But that's going to do it. I fly home next week. I'm going to spend some time up here with my cousins and meet their kids. And I don't get a chance to see them too often, so I'm looking forward to that. And flying back next week, and we'll see what's next. But that's me out from the Appalachian Trail.
It's